Imagine this for a second. What if I told you that the answers to life's biggest questions are hidden in the words of one man? Questions like, what's the true purpose of life? How can we find real happiness that lasts? Why do we suffer? And how do we find peace in the middle of pain? And what if those words were not just ancient history, but still powerful enough today to transform your life completely? Over 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ walked this earth. He didn't come with armies, he didn't sit on a golden throne, and he didn't seek political power. Instead, he taught simple yet profound truths, truths that turned empires upside down, changed hearts, and offered humanity a way to live with love, peace, and purpose. Today, we're going to uncover 7 of the most powerful teachings of Jesus, timeless lessons that can change your life, no matter who you are, where you come from, or what you're going through right now. These are not just religious rules. They are life principles, principles that can guide you through heartbreak, fear, success, failure, and everything in between. So stay with me till the end, because in the last part, I'll ask you a question that might just shake your soul. A question that could open your eyes to the reality of who Jesus truly is and what his words can mean for you today. Let's begin. Love and forgiveness. One of the most radical things Jesus ever said was this: love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. Think about that for a moment. In a world where revenge was normal, where an eye for an eye was the law of the land, Jesus introduced something completely different: forgiveness. Now, forgiveness doesn't mean weakness. It doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. What it means is refusing to let hate control your heart. Here's the truth. When you hold on to anger, it eats you from the inside. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. But when you forgive, you set yourself free. Imagine you're at work and someone insults you publicly. You have 2 choices. 1, fire back, hold a grudge, and let bitterness grow. 2, or choose forgiveness, protect your peace, and rise above. Jesus showed that forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you. It's about refusing to be chained by anger. In fact, some of the greatest leaders in history, Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, they all lived out this principle, and they changed the world not with hate, but with forgiveness. That's the power of love. That's the power of Jesus' teaching. Faith over fear. Jesus often told people, do not be afraid, only believe. Fear is something we all struggle with. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the future. In America, surveys show that people's biggest fears are losing financial stability, health problems, and being alone. And yet Jesus' message is simple. Choose faith instead of fear. Faith doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means trusting that there's a bigger plan. It's like being on a plane during turbulence. You don't see the pilot, but you trust he knows what he's doing. That's what Jesus asks us to do with God. When storms come in life, when you lose a job, when a relationship ends, when you don't know how tomorrow will look, faith says, God's got this. Think about the story where Jesus walked on water. Peter stepped out of the boat, and as long as he focused on Jesus, he walked on the waves. But the moment he looked at the storm, he sank. That's the same with us. Fear makes us sink. Faith keeps us walking. Humility. Jesus flipped the definition of greatness upside down. He said, the greatest among you will be the servant of all. The world says greatness means money, power, and fame. But Jesus said true greatness is found in humility, in serving others. Look at the people who made the biggest impact in history. Mother Teresa serving the poor on the streets of Calcutta. Martin Luther King Jr. fighting for justice with love. They weren't chasing fame, they were serving others. And here's the irony. The more you serve, the greater your legacy becomes. In a social media world that screams, look at me, follow me, admire me, Jesus whispers, humble yourself, help someone. That's where greatness lives, compassion and helping others. One of Jesus' most famous parables is the story of the Good Samaritan. A man was beaten and left on the side of the road. Religious leaders walked past him. But a Samaritan, someone considered an outsider, stopped, cared for him, and saved his life. The lesson: your neighbor isn't just the person who looks like you or believes like you. Your neighbor is anyone in need. Think about the homeless man sitting under a bridge, the single mother working 2 jobs, the elderly person who feels invisible. Jesus says, that's your neighbor. Love them. Small acts of kindness can change someone's entire day, sometimes even their entire life. That's compassion. That's real Christianity. Prayer and connection with God. Jesus gave us a model prayer, the Lord's Prayer. But more than words, he showed us what prayer really is, a relationship. Prayer isn't about repeating lines or begging God for stuff. It's about connection. It's like a child talking to their father, sharing problems, saying thank you, asking for guidance. And here's something modern science has discovered. Regular prayer and meditation reduce stress, anxiety, and even improve mental health. When Jesus prayed, he wasn't just setting an example. He was showing us that in the chaos of life, you can always find peace in God's presence. Prayer isn't just a ritual, it's oxygen for the soul. Teaching #6, Wealth and Possessions. Jesus asked a piercing question. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world, yet lose his soul? We live in a world obsessed with money and material things, bigger houses, faster cars, more followers. But here's the truth. None of it can fill the emptiness inside. How many celebrities do we see with everything money can buy, yet they're still depressed, broken, or even ending their lives? Jesus reminds us, your value is not in what you own. Your soul is priceless. There's nothing wrong with success. But when money owns you, when possessions become your identity, that's when you lose what truly matters. In the end, nobody takes their wealth to the grave, but your soul, that lasts forever. Forgiveness of sins. One of the most beautiful stories in the Bible is when a woman caught in sin was dragged before Jesus. The crowd wanted to stone her, but Jesus said, "Let the one who is without sin cast the first stone." One by one they all left. Then Jesus told her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." That's grace, that's forgiveness. Jesus didn't ignore sin, but he offered mercy instead of condemnation. And that same mercy is available to us. No matter what mistakes you've made, no matter how far you've fallen, Jesus says there's a second chance for you. That's why his message is called Good News, Hope and Eternal Life. Finally, Jesus gave the ultimate promise. I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me will live, even though they die. Death is humanity's greatest fear. It's the one enemy no one escapes. But Jesus offers hope beyond the grave, for the grieving parent, for the lonely widow, for the one who feels life is meaningless. Jesus says, this is not the end, there is more. Eternal life isn't just about heaven someday. It's about living with hope right now. Knowing that pain, suffering, and death don't have the final word. Jesus does. So let's recap the 7 powerful teachings of Jesus that can transform your life. 1. Love and forgiveness. 2. Faith over fear. 3. Humility. 4. Compassion for others. 5. Prayer and connection with God. 6. True wealth is not possessions. 7. Forgiveness of sins. And above all, he gave us hope and eternal life. Now here's my question to you. Which one of these teachings speaks to you the most right now? Is it forgiveness? Is it hope? Is it faith? Drop it in the comments below, because your answer might inspire someone else who desperately needs it. And if this message touched your heart, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it, subscribe, because the world needs to hear the real Jesus, not as a religion, but as the one whose words are life itself. Remember this, empires rose and fell, kings came and went, but the words of Jesus still stand today, and they're waiting to change your life if you let them.